Welcome back to Basement Integrity Podcast by Icerino. Whether you're tuning in during your commute on the DVP, maybe stuck in that traffic, or you're at home checking the sump pump after the rain, we're glad to have you.
We are. Last time we got into identifying and fixing basement leaks. A really foundational episode, if you will.
Absolutely. That was all about the bread and butter of keeping a home healthy. But today, for episode 46, we're going deeper.
Much deeper.
We're looking at something that's, it's invisible, constant. And honestly, it's something most Toronto homeowners never think about. Not until they're sitting in their living room and, the teacups start rattling in the cabinet.
It's right under our feet, but because you can't see it, you ignore it until you can't.
Exactly. We are talking about the hidden forces affecting homes near Toronto's subway lines. And look, I love the TTC. It's the lifeline of this city, right? It keeps thousands of cars off the road. But there's a twist.
There's always a trade-off in a big city. Always.
If you live above or right next to those tunnels, there's this whole relationship happening between the train and your foundation. And it's more than just train goes by, house shakes.
Yeah, way more nuanced. So our mission today is to demystify that. We want to get into how ground-borne vibration actually works, why the specific soil under your house matters so much, and, how to tell the difference between a minor annoyance and a real structural risk.
And we're looking at this through the lens of our work here at Icerino. We're not just reading charts. We're in the basements in Riverdale, on the Danforth near High Park, seeing the real-world effects.
Which is the best data you can have.
So let's start with the science. When we say subway vibration, what is actually happening down there?
Okay, so let's break down the mechanics. You have to picture a subway train. I mean, it's hundreds of tons of steel and people moving fast. That creates a huge amount of kinetic energy.
Right, basic physics. That energy has to go somewhere.
Exactly. Starts where the wheel hits the rail, that energy moves into the track, then the tunnel structure, and then, and this is the key part for homeowners, it radiates out into the soil like a wave.
So it's like dropping a rock in a pond, but the ripples are moving through dirt.
That's a great way to think about it. But the medium really matters. Water's consistent. Toronto soil is. Well, it's not.
And that gets us to the soil factor. This really surprised me. I just assumed, dirt is dirt.
Not at all. It's the difference between hitting a pillow and hitting a steel beam. A lot of Toronto, especially older neighborhoods, has what we call stiff clay soils.
Okay, stiff clay. I know that stuff.
And stiff clay is a very, very efficient conductor. It doesn't really absorb energy. It just passes it along. So that wave of energy from the train travels much farther than it would through, say, loose sand, which would absorb it.
So you could have two identical houses, same distance from the tunnel. One's on sand, one's on clay. The house on sand feels nothing, but the one on clay is rumbling every 5 minutes.
That is precisely it. The foundation becomes the end of the line for that energy. The house basically becomes a tuning fork.
Wow. It's not just about proximity, it's geology. Now, what's the deal with the old system variable? We see this all the time with clients near line 2, the Bloor-Danforth line. Why does that line seem to cause more headaches?
It really just comes down to the era of engineering. I mean, we're talking about the 1960s. The understanding of vibration mitigation just wasn't there.
They were just trying to dig a tunnel and run a train through it.
Pretty much. They didn't have the modern tech like floating slab tracks or dampening pads that isolate the vibration. On those older lines, the track is often fixed right to the concrete. There's no buffer.
So the train shakes the track shakes the tunnel shakes the clay.
And the clay shakes your house, a direct chain of energy. That's why people in Bloor West or on the Danforth report so much more rattling and rumbling.
Legacy infrastructure meeting modern life. So let's talk about the risk. Perception versus reality. When a client calls us, what are they usually feeling?
The lived experience is usually a rhythmic rumbling. It's not a loud noise, it's more tactile. You feel it under your feet, especially in the basement.
Right. It feels like the house is active, which is unsettling. So the big question, is my house going to fall down?
Look, the short answer is no. It's important to be clear about that. The vibration is almost always well below the threshold for immediate structural failure. We aren't talking about an earthquake.
Okay, so everyone can take a breath, but I'm sensing a but coming.
There's always a but. The risk isn't acute, it's cumulative. Think of it like a paperclip. You bend it once, it's fine.
You bend it back.
But if you bend it back and forth, even just a tiny bit, thousands and thousands of times...
It weakens and snaps.
Right. Concrete is strong, but it's brittle. Over 20 or 30 years, that constant tiny movement creates structural fatigue.
So it's not the one big punch, it's the million little taps.
That's a perfect analogy. And the real danger comes when that vibration meets a foundation that's already compromised. We call these the compounding factors.
Because it's never just one problem, is it?
Never. If you already have moisture issues, so you've got hydrostatic pressure pushing on the walls, and then you add vibration, that's a recipe for accelerating damage.
We see that constantly in older homes near the subway lines. Aging foundations, water pressure, and then you shake it every few minutes.
Exactly. That vibration can turn a tiny hairline crack into a real leak. It's effectively helping the water work its way in. It becomes a force multiplier for water damage.
Wow, so the train isn't knocking the house down, but it's definitely aging the foundation faster.
Much faster than a similar house in the suburbs.
Okay, so if I'm listening to this, and I know I'm on the line, what do I do? What's the playbook?
You manage it. You don't just live with it. We have a 4-step protection plan.
All right, let's hear it. Step 1.
Step 1 is simple. Regular inspection. Don't wait for a disaster. We need to get in there and establish a baseline. Catch those tiny cracks or moisture paths early.
That baseline is everything, right?
Yeah.
You can't know if crack is growing if you don't know what it looked like a year ago.
You got it. We document everything. Crack widths, moisture levels, floor grades. It's a health checkup for your foundation.
Makes sense. Okay, what's step 2? This seems like a big one in our notes.
Step 2 is water management. And honestly, this is the most crucial part. Water pressure is the biggest threat.
Wait, I thought we were talking about vibration.
We are, but hydrostatic pressure, that water pushing on your walls, pre-stresses the wall. It's already maxed out, so it has zero capacity to handle the extra stress from vibration.
Ah, I see. So if you remove the water pressure, you give the wall some breathing room to handle the shaking.
Exactly. It's like giving the house a shield. Modern waterproofing, like an interior weeping tile system, relieves that pressure. A dry foundation is a stable, resilient foundation.
So you fix the vibration problem by fixing the water problem. Okay, step 3. This sounds more heavy duty. Structural reinforcement.
This is where we talk about underpinning. This is for homes that show real signs of settlement, uneven floors. Basically where the vibration is clearly winning the fight.
And for anyone who doesn't know, what exactly is underpinning? It's not a weekend DIY job.
Definitely not. We're essentially extending the foundation deeper into the ground. We excavate underneath the existing foundation, section by section, and pour new, stronger concrete footings. We're giving the house new legs.
Anchoring it to stronger soil. It's a huge process, but it transforms the stability of the home.
It creates a foundation that can actually resist those forces instead of just taking the hits.
Got it. And finally, step 4, the outside stuff.
Right. Soil and lot conditions. This is the stuff people overlook. Proper grading, so water slopes away from the house, extending your downspouts. All of it is about reducing moisture buildup right against the foundation.
Because with soil transmits the vibration better.
Much better. So we want to create a dry buffer zone around the house. It's a holistic approach: inspect, waterproof, reinforce if needed, and manage the landscape.
It's a strategy built around coexistence with the subway. You can't stop the train. So to bring it all home, living near the subway is great for convenience, but it requires being proactive. You have to combine regular inspections, water management, and just being aware of what's happening underground.
It's about protecting your investment against a very specific environmental stressor.
And if you're listening and thinking, I've seen a crack, or my basement feels damp, don't sit on it. That's your house whispering to you.
And you want to catch it at the whisper stage before it starts screaming.
The goal is a foundation built to last, no matter how many trains go by. So if you're worried about cracks, dampness, or that vibration, reach out to the team. You can call us at 647-454-667.
Or visit icyreno.ca.
We've been bonded and insured since 2009. We know Toronto soil, and we know what's happening under your feet.
And if I can leave everyone with one final thought.
Please do.
A city isn't static. It's a living thing. It's always growing, digging, evolving. As that happens, the relationship between your home and the ground it sits on changes.
That's a really good way of putting it. It's a dynamic relationship.
And monitoring that relationship, paying attention to those invisible forces, that's the key to smart homeownership in a modern city. It's not just about the roof over your head. It's about the ground under your feet.
I love that.
Yeah.
A huge thank you for listening to this deep dive on the Basement Integrity Podcast by Icyreno. We'll catch you on the next one.
Stay dry, everyone.